Just wanted to leave you a message as I know we can't FaceTime and I thought you might be missing my face. You'll be finished up by the time you watch this and I'll still be sleeping. Hopefully beyond 7 a.m. Wishful thinking. I hope that you had a good shift today. Well as it can go. You're not in your car watching this, are you, Frank? If you haven't, stop the video. Now, Frank. Stop checking the messages on your phone. Drive home, have a shower, have something good to eat, and then you can do your check-in, okay? You've got to take better care of yourself. Sitting in your car for 30 minutes after your shift is not taking care of yourself, okay? You always say to yourself, you never have time, so go home. And if you're home already, just forget what I just said. We miss you. Dad misses you. He's always asking for you, 10 times a day. We were all out clapping for you tonight. Lily was out with her ladle and pan. Nathan's choice of instrument was using his brand new 50 quid lightsaber. Yeah, his birthday gift. Against one of the plant pots near the front door. Dad was out, shouting your name above the applause. Telling all the neighbours about his medic, his son, saving lives. They're really sweet to him, even though he does it every day. They do that thing where they act like it's new information. It's good of him. Today was a really hard day. Sorry, that is so selfish. You're out there risking your life and saving lives, and I'm here, safe at home, and I can't even do that right. I locked myself in the utility cupboard today. I was on calls to work all morning, and when I got off it was just chaos. Kids were hungry and screaming. Dad was complaining that he'd have his lunch by now if he was in his own house. I said to him, Dad, there are no carers. With lockdown they're short-staffed, remember? He just looked at me with that blank expression he gets, he's forgotten something. It just felt so terrible. I'm the one who brought him to live with me. The upheaval, his routine changed, and he doesn't even know why or what's going on. He just goes along with it. I just get so frustrated at him, and I take it out on the kids. He's been telling them those little tales that he used to tell us. Nathan really loves the Chinese New Year animal race because he's the rat who won it. Lily has just been drawing so many jade rabbits on the moon. I just can't believe that I never told them those stories when they were kids. So I had this idea for lunch. I thought that we could all make bao buns together and Dad could tell them more stories and the kids would, learn more about their heritage and their granddad's culture. Experiential homeschooling. What a brilliant plan. So we get out the flour and the yeast, and Dad is telling them about the Monkey King. Do you remember that one? Was your favourite? And I'm getting all the rest of the ingredients together. Lily is measuring out the water. Nathan is really loving this story. Like, he is using his lightsaber like nobody's business, just brandishing that thing, swinging it about. I mean, I didn't have my phone, and I really wish I had, because it would have been perfect for Instagram. It was all going so well. And I just turned my back for a second to get salt, and I hear this crash behind me. I turn back around again, and there's flour everywhere. Like, It is in Dad's hair, it's in Lily's water bowl, it's on the stovetop, it's on the microwave, on the floor, on the table. Nathan had just swung his lightsaber and it hit the pack of flour and it exploded. And vegetable oil is just, it's been knocked over too, so it's everywhere. And Lily starts crying because the flour and the oil have mixed into this sticky glue and it's just all over her workstation. Dad's shouting at Nathan, I just can't take it anymore. Any of it. I tell them I get more flour and I walk out that room. Get to the utility and shut the door behind me. I still hear just shouting and yelling and screaming and crying. And I slowly sink down to the floor and make myself as small as possible. It's just noise. It's just one big noise. I haven't felt like that in a while. And it took me back to that flat in Saracen Street. Did you ever think of that place? You know, the flat that we shared with the Lee family, who were supposedly our cousins, but we never actually saw them after we moved out. It's all of us. You, me, Mum, Dad, Annie and Daniel. All crowded and huddled up in that tiny flat with another family. Dad worked all the hours he could to get by. He worked nights in the takeaway below us. Remember, we always had prawn crackers for breakfast. Daniel said that he could enter the Guinness Book of Records for the amount of prawn crackers he could eat in a minute. I think he was 5 at the time. We were older, so we knew what was going on. Remember, you always told me when you grew up, you'd get a proper job. You'd have all of it. You'd have the suit and you'd have the tie, and you'd never come home tired and sweating all the time. And I told you that I'd buy a big house. I'd buy a mansion just for me. All that space just for me. And it'd be so quiet, silent. Just thought that it would be nice to have Dad around, you know? I thought that we could connect, father and son, like we used to when I was a kid. But he never really was around then, was he? We never actually had time to connect, just the two of us. There's always things in the way, like people, new houses, new jobs, new schools. There's never actually any quiet time. Just all noise. Well, we've got a utility room. Technically, it's just a cupboard, but we've kind of made it. And you've got a uniform and probably stinker hand sanitizer, so you win some. I stayed in there as long as I could. There was no more flour, but I already knew. Just counted to 10. Breathing in and out slowly. Got up, went back to the kitchen. Could hear them in there, but it wasn't screaming or shouting anymore. It was loud, but a different noise. So I walk in, and there's Dad still powdered in flour, but he's drawing outlines of animals on the worktop. Lily is just laughing at Granddad's fat rat, and Nathan is making little Star Wars sand dunes out of the flour. And Dad looks up and he asks me if I'm okay. He says that I'm working too hard. I smile and say I'm fine. after I clean everything up, we still get all of the remaining edible flour together and we make the bao buns. They were lumpy and yours is way better, but it turned out alright in the end. Yeah, they were alright in the end. It's just like we turned out, eh? After I put the kids to bed, Dad starts asking about when we're going to go to the theatre, and I tell him soon. And he starts talking about opening up Mum and Dad's shop, and if we have time, then we can ride our bikes to the sea and swim. And at that point, I know that he thinks he's talking to his sister. He thinks he is miles and miles away in the country that he was born. Go along with it. It's getting more frequent, but it's still manageable for now. Got a message from the manager at Sheltered Housing. He said that they're going to reinstate Dad's care package as of Monday. He'll get 3 care visits per day. Told Dad that he could go back to his house next week. He said that he was really happy to sleep in his own bed again. He said that he really liked staying with me, but that it was all actually a bit too noisy for him. Can you imagine? Anyway, just wanted to give you an update on us. Hope everything is going okay with you. Give our love to Steve. Tell me when you're free next as well, because Nathan and Lily really want to video call you.